Carolina Panthers were founded on October 26, 1993 by Jerry Richardson. The Panthers were awarded a spot in the NFL after waiting 6 long years. This is a dream come true for me and my partners and the 10 million of Carolinians, Jerry Richardson said. Jerry Richardson had been discussing about a team with a group of interested parties. The Panthers will play their first game on September 3rd of 1995, where they'll lose to the Atlanta Falcons in overtime.
Dom Capers is the coach of the Panthers. They're at Atlanta. It's an old Buffalo highlight. I love it. Frank Reich to Pete Metzelaars. First possession, touchdown, Carolina. 7-0 Panthers on the ensuing kickoff. Roel Preston carries it to the 21. Boom! He is stuck by Paul Butcher. It's a fumble. And Vince Workman, my way back to Ubag, recovers it for the Carolina Panthers. Setting up a John Casey field goal. 39 yards, 2 possessions, 2 scores. 10-0 Panthers. They scored in their third possession. They led it 13-3. Second quarter until Jeff George gets going. The former Chief, very tough receiver, J.J. Burton. Touchdown, 13-10 Carolina. June Jones knows that he's got Morton Anderson as they kind of just jumped in there and stole him from their division rival, the New Orleans Saints. Anderson, a 51-yard field goal at the end of the half. It's 13-all. Morton on the day had 3 field goals. He's now 5th all-time in field goals with 305, passing Pat Leahy and Jim Turner. Third quarter, 3rd and 1 from the 5. George to Bert Emanuel. Touchdown, and the Falcons lead it 20-13. Falcons defense doing the job in the third. Look at Chris Dolman. Now they're going to take their lumps with some rookies on the line. Tommy Blake Rockermeyer gave up the sack. 1 of 9 on the day for the Falcons. 3.5 for Dolman. Fourth quarter, 20-13 Falcons. Minute 15 to go. But does Frank Reich know how to lead comebacks? Yes. To Bob's sister Christian. The fullback Rumden, 23 yards to the 42. Minute to go. 2 plays later. Willie Green, color of money. 13 yards down to the 45. Now watch this. Reich to Willie Green. It's at the goal line. Doink off the helmet into his hands, and the Panthers are within 20-19, Tom.
Yeah, and this is actually pretty good coverage by cornerback Terry Taylor, but you see their feet get tangled up right there. Terry Taylor goes down. Willie Green, great concentration on the football for the touchdown.
Hey, under a minute to go, Dom Capers says, you know what, we have a chance to win our first game. We're going for 2. I love it, Dom. But Derek Graham, the right tackle, will never know what happened. He moved, it's no play, so the ball went back to the 8. They correctly kicked it, and we're tied at 20. We go to overtime. Panthers win the toss. 3rd and 2 from the 42. Lester Archambault breaks through, forces a fumble, and recovers. That sets up Morton Anderson. His 3rd field goal. 35 yards out, it's good. The Falcons escape a major upset.
Panthers will finish that season 7-9 and will miss the playoffs. The rest of the 90s, the Panthers did decently, including a 1 conference championship game. The Panthers' first year in the new decade will be reminiscent of their first season in the NFL, where they will also finish 7-9. But in the 2003-2004 season, there will be some real upside with the second-year head coach, John Fox.
It's come down to this from the 12-yard line. 4th down, Carolina. Here's Stallone back to throw. Fires for Pro in the end zone. He got it! Touchdown, rookie Pro! So can they block an extra point? Because we're tied at 9. Snap. Kick. Oh my goodness, we're still alive.
At the end of the 2003-2004 season, the Panthers were excited, not only because they was going to the playoffs, but they won 11 out of 16 games. But sadly, one of their future Hall of Famers, Sam Mills, got cancer, one of the greatest players that the Panthers have ever had. He gave the key pounder speech to the players right before their wildcard game against the Cowboys. The Panthers will keep this motto in mind, and that's the day that the famous keep pounding motto was made. And the players want to do good, but not only for themselves, but also for Sam Mills against his battle with cancer.
Do need a running back with 5 straight wins, ended the regular season with 3 straight wins, come in hot, stay hot, and go to St. Louis. And for Bill Parcells, a magnificent job with a team that was 5-11 over the last 3 years.
Delone fires to an open Smith. Steve Smith is going to go all the way. No flags down. Smith scores, and the Carolina Panthers win in overtime.
On a 3rd and 14.
69-yard play.
Unbelievable.
The Carolina Panthers have advanced, ending the St. Louis Rams' 14-game winning streak at home in an incredible game that will go down in memory as one of the highlights of playoff history.
After beating the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs, the Panthers will make it to the Super Bowl, their first ever Super Bowl against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots.
Super Bowl 38, the Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots. Gonna go deep down the far sideline. It is caught. Touchdown, Steve Smith.
Very confident. They're showing well tonight.
On 2nd and 10 to Sean Foster. Foster breaks through. 30, still on his feet. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Play fake. Belin pulls it down. Looking. Gonna go deep. Has his man wide open. It's Muhammad. Muhammad to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Back in coverage.
Big blitz, throwing the end zone, touchdown! Title in 3 years from 41 yards. Looks good!
After losing the Super Bowl, things went downhill for the Panthers, only making the playoffs 2 more times out of the 7. But in the next decade, starting off strong, they drafted the greatest player in Panthers history, Cam Newton. Cam Newton did not disappoint as the Panthers' future with the first overall draft pick. Threw for 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, and rushed for 706 yards and scored 14 rushing touchdowns. It wouldn't take Cam Newton that long to reach the playoffs. Just doing it in his 3rd year, he will make the playoffs, but will sadly lose in the divisional round. But it will be okay, because he'll make it back the next year, but also lose in the divisional round. But 1 year later, Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers had their breakout year, going 15-1 and making it all the way to the Super Bowl. The Panthers ended up losing the Super Bowl, and they made it back to the playoffs, but they didn't make it that far. Hopefully this coming off season, we can improve on our team and be that dynasty we was destined to be in 2015. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Have a good day. And always remember to keep pounding.